First message that I have for you is they're saying like an all-seeing eye. And I feel like what this message refers to is the fact that you are privy to a lot of information that I feel like either a group of people are approaching you, or a person is relying on you as their sounding board. They're going through a lot of internal stress. Okay, so like there are a lot of things happening all around them. They don't really have anybody to turn to, and on another level, it's something very personal and very private that they don't really want to disclose to strangers. So they're coming to you with issues that they're dealing with another person. And I feel like they're telling you some deep rooted problems or deep rooted secrets. And the secrets are very scandalous. So I feel like some of you are dealing with some heavy stuff. Um, just keep in mind, I don't feel that the message is related to you. It's related to somebody that you care about. You want to help. You want to make the situation better for them. And they're telling you things that are really deep that you're not, you didn't anticipate. You're not ready to hear. And then I feel some of you, it's the same person, over the span of a year, a few months. And it's the same things. And the information is a little bit heavy. And so you're thinking to yourself, like, how could somebody do this? How is that fair that they're doing this and getting away with it? How could somebody behave in such an unjust and immorally, corrupt way? And so a big part of you is, it's kind of like feeling very empathetic, and you want to like take on that person's problems. You want to tackle it for the other person. You also want to do whatever you can within your power to help the other person. And so you almost get to the point where you long for poetic justice. You want karmic justice to hit the perpetrator. That's what it feels like to me. So I feel like you are fighting for a major cause this month, and it's being fought on a more like a moral high ground. Okay, and it's not good or bad. I feel that the energy is neutral. But my advice is that I feel that you're leaking your energy. So that means a lot of people might be coming to you. That one specific person might be coming to you. And it is something that they are dealing with on their own. So if you are, feeling stressed out, if you have your own things to deal with as well. And so don't take this person's battle upon yourself. Don't be the one to, push for things, because you're a very proactive sign. If you see something that's wrong, you want to do something about it. And the message is, you want to be emotionally detached from it, because as an outsider looking in, it's not your battle. It's not your fight. It's you want to fight the good fight, but it's not your fight. If it is something that is happening to, children, animals, uh, people that can't defend themselves, that's fine. But if you're dealing with an adult and they're rational and they're able to take care of it on their own, don't take on that burden, okay? Because I feel like it's going to really make you feel jaded about people in general, and it's also not your battle. They know where they need to be. They have resources. They just need to come to you to vent, and I feel like that's all it is, okay? They want to vent mainly because it's a very private, personal matter, and they don't have another person that they can vent to. So don't take it upon yourself to solve and wave away the other person's problems, okay? It's not your place to do that, okay? And doing so is really going to stress you out as well. So let's not go there, all right? The second message that I have for you here is I do feel the past month has been very, very busy for you. And I do feel there were work responsibilities piling on. And I'm also sensing you're dealing with like delays caused by slowness, ineffective, problem solving due to other people. Other people are not working to their capacity, or they're not making good judgment calls. And that can also create more work for you. That can also heavy, make your load a lot heavier. And so I just feel like, this is a month where you need to really relax. So if people are coming to you with problems, just leave it at the door, leave it at work, don't bring it home with you, okay? Because that's really going to hinder your ability to believe in the goodwill and faith of humankind. And it's also going to put you in a bad mood, okay? Third message that I have here is I'm sensing a lot of you are trying to reinvent yourself. You're in a point in your life where professionally things are very stable. Financially, things are very stable for many of you. And I'm sensing some of you might be venturing out dating, and I feel like it's a good month to do that overall. Others of you you're dealing with a partner that needs your help. So I feel like they're not capable of making, direct, pointed, decisive, decisions. They're not able to do that. And so you feel almost as if the weight is on you to maintain and sustain the relationship. And overall, I would say that don't take on people's burdens, okay? I know you care about the other person. You want to do the right thing, and you honestly are just, you have an abundant amount of energy. It's almost like you can function really well on very little sleep, okay? It's not a good thing. We feel like we might be able to do that, but we're not going to be operating at our best. So don't leak your energy. Don't allow your energy to seep where it doesn't belong. Make sure your energy is more conserved and is a little bit more inward focused. Conservation of energy is really important for this month because I feel like you're wearing yourself out, okay? So while it is a very dynamic month, you can be prone to, stress and work overload. So don't take your work home. Learning to separate, your personal life from your professional life, that's also going to be crucial for you. Last message that I have here is they're saying seeing the truth in a matter, seeing the truth in a person. And I feel for some of you, this might be on the romantic front. For others, I feel like it's just somebody that you're close to. You think they're one way, but they're turning out to be, they might talk big, right? But when it comes to, when the going gets rough, I feel like they shy away from confrontation. They're not very assertive, and they're proving themselves to be a little bit of a liability. So that means if it's a partner, they might not be as type A and as proactive as you are. And if it's a work relationship, like a coworker, I feel like they're not able to pull their weight, and they're deficient. They're missing something, and a lot of it could just be, that sense of personal motivation, like the drive, the ambition to do something great. And so, I'm sensing that there is a discordant energy. You're working at cross purposes with another person, and while you are go go go, they're going to put a damper on things and force you to slow down. So if you have too many things, projects, communication, contracts, if you have too many things tied up with the other person, they can really, really slow down your momentum. They can really slow down your progress. I'm actually going to pull out one more card here for the star and see what this is in relations to. I feel like it's contract and work. Let me see. Yeah. So first of all, let me talk about this because, it's coming out first, so let me just talk about it, and then that way we can move on. First of all, this is a card overall about communication, okay? Work contracts. And I do feel, usually with the Judgment card, this is indicative of major, major contracts, things that can really change your work environment, things that can really benefit you in a big way. So, for example, landing that huge account, landing a huge commission, getting a huge bonus checks, doing something where, people are signing on the dotted line and projects, progress is moving forward, okay? So everybody is on board, everybody is in agreement with one another, and there is a finality, there's a clear decision as to how to move forward. And I feel for many of you, you're hitting up many different facilities, institutions. You're seeing a lot of different people to finalize something, to finalize a sale, finalize a decision, finalize something where there's contracts involved with multiple actors, multiple people. There's also this sense of hierarchy where, like you need a signature from the top down. Then from the top down, you need to go to middle management. And from middle management, then you go towards the employees. So there's something here that is very structural. You need all the signatures. You need all the approval. You need to do things in a very methodical, in a very structured way in order to move everything along. So there's decisions resting on multiple actors, multiple people. And because so many people are involved, and it seems almost to me like roadblocks, bureaucracy, red tapes, it's going to be a little bit delayed, okay? And I feel like this might be in the work environment where it's really slowing down your revenue stream, okay? So I feel like for some of you, it could be trying to take out a loan. And trying to take out a loan, you have to, get your credit approval, or you have to get financing from either a third party, a lender, a financier, or from like a financial institution. So some things are being slowed down. And then for others of you, I also feel like this is work contracts. So if you're working on a contract, on a sales, on a commission basis, there's a little bit of a slowdown when it comes to money. Just a little bit of a slowdown. It's not major, but I do feel that it's going to resolve itself. I do sense August, okay? What I'm also feeling as well is for some of you, this can basically be medical treatment, diagnoses, getting some type of a prognosis concerning you or concerning a loved one or concerning somebody that you're dealing with. There might be news and communication as it relates to emotional. I feel more emotional, mental, okay? Health of a person, their well-being, their status, the prognosis surrounding treatment plan options and things like that, that's coming through related to you or somebody that is very close to you. And I do feel mental, emotional health, as well as the diagnoses. What else is affecting? It's affecting the people that is involved in that environment. And so there is something here that you're waiting on positive news, but I do feel if it's emotional, mental health, even physical health, it might be somebody who is kind of like going through some hard times and they're in the decline emotionally, mentally, or physically. So that's the first batch, okay? The what I want to talk about next is this. And this is more like incongruence to what I mentioned earlier regarding don't take on other people's burdens, okay? You have a lot on your plate this month, Aries. And you normally do throughout the year when I read for Aries, and especially Aries and Virgos, you guys always have a lot of projects that you're dabbling in, a lot of ideas that you're implementing, a lot of things that you're managing. And I also feel that there are a lot of roadblocks along the way, mainly because, you have this really strong dynamic type A go, go, go energy. And people are not going to be working as fast as you are. People are not going to be as efficient. And so there's a moment here where a lot needs to be done, but there's a stalled energy because other people might not have the same value, they might not have the same work ethics. And so waiting things out, making sure that I feel more than anything the universe is telling you to slow down, mainly because if we're pushing forward single-handedly, we're going to encounter opposition, roadblocks, and that sense of inertia from other people. And if that happens, don't push ahead. Head in a different direction, distract yourself with something else, work on another project, shift your priorities to something else so that you're not feeling out of sorts, so that you're not feeling impatient and irritable, okay? So watching out for irritability, being careful about that, that's really important for you, okay? There's an element here about being very cautious about your dietary intake and your physical health overall. I do feel a lot more exercise is required for you. Both of these are major, major health cards, okay? This can be emotional or physical, and this is definitely emotional. Feeling irritable, feeling as if you're dashing off things at the last minute. You might not have time to eat. You might have a very poor diet because you're busy, you're stressed out, you don't have the time, or when you get home from work, you're just, pooped, you're just so exhausted that you don't really want to invest the time in cooking healthily for yourself. So doing a lot of like meal prepping is going to be good for you, or finding like, dietary supplements like protein shakes, protein bars, or just something to supplement that one meal, could be dinner, and then eating, trying to compensate by eating healthier the other meals, I feel is going to be much better for you. So there is a major message here about being careful about your health, taking better care of yourself, getting adequate, um, exercise, making sure you're not irritable. And I also feel this very strong emotional highs and lows. So it could be like, I feel like caffeine crash, sugar crash, making sure you, especially for those who are, diabetic, um, or have very low blood sugar, just be really careful that you don't crash, okay? So making sure that you check your blood sugar, because I feel like you're overworking and you're feeling kind of like you stand up and you have this massive head rush. So be very careful about that, okay, Aries? You are ruled by the head, so there's a lot of tension, headaches. There's also like congestion, feeling congested whenever you're about to get, sick, or your body is trying to fight off like a minor infection. So when you see these symptoms coming in, making sure you get a lot of water, making sure that you're a lot more cautious about what you're giving your body, putting in your body. So slowing down a little bit to really take adequate time to eat right, and slowing down a little bit so that you're not, irritable when you're dealing with people who are a little bit slower. They could just be like lacking in the work ethics. They take longer to process information, or they're just a little bit slow in how they do things. They're not as, lightning fast the way that you'd like. And they do things in a very like, I feel like at a snail's pace. And it could be, for all intent and purposes, they're just not as motivated and they're a little bit more lazy, and therefore you have to like constantly call and check up on them. Did you get that order in? Did you get that signature for me? You mentioned that you were going to get back to me, you never did. What's going on? So I feel like there's a lot of, phone tag. There's a lot of interaction where the other person say they're going to do something. They have all this free time, they say they're going to do one thing, and you're relying on them because I feel like it's financially, you're financially reliant on them to do their end of the bargain so that you can get paid, or so that the money can move forward, or so that a transaction can move forward. And then they have like so many things on their plate, they never get around to it, or they're just not good at time management, so they never get around to it in a timely manner, and it kind of puts you in a jam, okay? So just being a little bit more careful, making sure that you don't blow things out of proportion, being a lot more diplomatic when we communicate with other people, so that we're not chastising them, but like attracting people with honey, so that we're not chastising them, but we're telling them what they need to hear, so that they understand the urgency, okay? Um, not to like set them in their place, but so that they understand where you're coming from and they understand the sense of urgency. So, sweet talk, I feel like that's going to go a long way for you, okay? The last message that I have here coming through in this spread is that a lot of you are trying to secure something for yourself. And it almost screams out to me like you're trying to build up the nest egg. You're trying to create that financial foundation for yourself because you want to move on to the next phase of your life. So I feel like some of you are working, waiting to retire, and you're trying to get all the pieces, in place so that when you retire, you can have a lot more financial stability and financial abundance. And then others of you, you're trying to do a lot in the work environment so that you can get a promotion, so you can rise ahead, so that you can like have a very, very good letter of recommendation, so that you can look at other jobs. So I feel that what you're doing is securing your professional, your life, and also your financial foundation. And so there's a lot of anxieties here about long-term, future financial stability. And I feel like you're headed towards a time crunch where a lot of you might have, 4 or 5 years left before you retire, or you are already retiring, but you're still working mainly because you want to have a bigger nest egg. And so you're pushing your physical body past its limits. Okay, so they're saying to slow down a little bit, take care of yourself, and take care of the things that matter. Because if we're working all the time and we wear out our bodies and our minds, and our sense of patience and endurance. What good is, having that few extra $100 when we retire if we're constantly like chronically in pain because we have pushed our bodies beyond that point of exhaustion. So take better care of yourself and being very conscientious about what's really important in life. Okay, do you want that financial stability, or do you want that um, quality of life? And I know that I don't want to sound preachy, especially to you guys. And you are living this. I'm just looking at it, but I do feel that it's really important to realign yourself with your true values and to really think about what's really important in life. Okay, be careful about lower back pain, lower extremities, because I feel like some of you are just you put on a brave face and you're a very active sign, but your body, it needs to recuperate, it needs to rest. Okay, so you might feel like you might be 50 feeling like a 21-year-old and pushing your body past its physical limits. Be careful about that. The last thing that I want to mention here is I feel I feel as if, like I mentioned, people are coming to you, and I'm sensing like there's going to be opportunities for you to socialize, for you to get out, and I feel like you have been a little bit like of a shut-in the past 2 months. So let me see, gathering, people wanting to meet you, people wanting to see you, people wanting to share experiences with you. They want to reconnect with you. I don't feel it's exes. It could be for some, but I don't feel it's exes. I feel like social functions, events, family members, friends, people wanting to see, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? Is everything good? How's work? They want to catch up with you, and it's all work, work, work. I don't have time. I have so many things that I need to do, and you might not even answer that text message. You might not even answer that phone call. So taking time to really uh, slow down and enjoy the social relationships and to foster and nurture the relationships that you have, it's really going to make you feel appreciated, loved, wanted, and restore your faith in humanity, because I feel like there has been some heavy news that came in recently and you're still trying to make sense of it, process it, and trying to move on. Okay, and you might be kind of like sequestering yourself. It's like a self-imposed isolation. And so while you're going through it, I feel that having a person that you can emotionally open up with, such as a really good friend, a family member, somebody that you can bare your soul to, you need an outlet for something that has recently happened, and you need to do it in a safe, loving, emotionally supportive environment. So that's what I'm sensing here. Financially, things are going to be okay. I mentioned the August time frame, and that's when the sun is going to shift into the sign of Leo, and that's when in a fellow fire sign, things are. I feel like some of you are like working in a sales commission basis, where sales contracts are being signed, but there's a major delay when it comes to getting paid. And I feel like, yes, you're doing a lot of work, but you don't see the results immediately. And I feel like it's being delayed for a reason, so that you don't take it for granted and you continue to push forward as well. Okay, so I'm going to go into your love reading now and see what's in store for you guys. Slow down a little bit, okay, Aries, and reconnect with friends, reconnect with people who love you, and making time for that. Just slowing down a little bit, taking care of your health, making sure you're getting a balanced diet. Okay, I feel like some of you are waking up, you're kind of late, you're running late, and you're like skipping breakfast, you're eating fast food, you're eating like unhealthy things. So just take better care of your health. Okay, Let's see, what's in store for Aries for love, romance, and relationships? Whoops. Okay, so one last card. Okay, so let me just say this. Move this over here. So this is the first card that came out of the deck, and it's the Empress. So the message that I'm getting here is there's this sense of a single person. Kind of like, I feel like the majority of you are in this space where you have a lot of abundance, okay? Work is going well, career is going well. Finances, I feel that it can always be better, but you have enough to sustain your lifestyle. You have enough to buy nice things. You definitely have enough where you feel safe and secure and stable. And when you're in this space of abundance, a lot of good things will start coming to you, and a lot of I feel like you're in a position, especially you are single, to really pick and choose to whom you are spending your time, or with whom you are spending your time, and to whom you are devoting your energy. So this is a card overall of somebody who's very dynamic, and I feel like this is your energy because you care about people, you have a good heart, and when you're like this, you can attract really good vibrations to you, good things, good people. And then on the flip side of this, there's an element here about, being too loving, too caring, too easily taken in by a sob story, wanting to be kind of like that mother hen to your relationship partner. So rather than like approaching a relationship as an equal give and take, I feel that you're looking for projects. Your energy is so strong and so independent that you might be attracting partner, and this is not something that you're doing. You might be attracting people that are a little bit like, they're not as focused, they're not as abundant. And so when they come to you, they might feed off your energy and you end up having to take care of them. So I feel like there is a little bit of a differential, like a power differential or dynamics, where two people are not on equal footing. And it can create a lot of instability in the relationship. So you want to be careful about that. What's linked up here? And I do sense for those of you who are single, you are starting to date, and I feel like, if you're not doing it right now, if you're not ready and you're not doing it right now, there are a lot of people who are attracted to you in the work front. So I feel like workplace attraction, okay? People who are really smitten by you, they see you as somebody who's very caring, nurturing, abundant. And I do sense as well, they see you as a hardworking professional man or woman, and they really like you. So I do sense workplace attraction, relationships that are, there's like flirtation, attraction, mutual respect between you and a person in your work environment. At the same time, singles, people, you're looking for a stable relationship. You know what you're worth. You're not settling. You want somebody to build with you, and you want somebody that has the same. And honestly, I feel like in the past, you might have sought relationships that were very exciting and passionate, but didn't have a lot of substance. And now you're changing your energy, and you're looking for people who are a lot more serious minded, who wants to build something with you, who wants a relationship, who wants to build a home, who wants to start a family, especially for those of you in that age group. I feel like you're serious about wanting a stable relationship partner. So it's not about, chemistry and excitement and drama and passion anymore. It's more about stability. It's more about somebody who is sincere and they're going to deliver on what they promise. Okay, so I feel like you're changing your tactics when it comes to relationship partners. I feel like some of you are dealing with this person right now, and this is somebody that I feel like they have a really good heart. This is somebody that I'm getting, rags to riches, so they might have had a really hard life, and they're still dealing with some inner things that they need to work through as an individual. They might have health issues, they might have emotional health issues, they might have physical health issues, they might even be financially unstable, okay? And because, like I mentioned, this is you, very stable, very abundant, and this is them, where they are incredibly they've had a hard life, and they might take a lot longer to get themselves to a space where they're a lot more financially stable. Okay, so there's, once again, somebody's falling on hard times, or you or your partner, there's a differential in the amount of stability you both have. And money and finances should not make or break a relationship, but I feel that in this situation, it's the differential is a little bit more severe or extreme, and it's becoming noticeable. Either that, or you're financially linked up with them, and whatever they're going through, fluctuations in their financial situation, fluctuations in their financial situation is going to affect you. So I feel that either way, you're financially linked up, and there's financial differential, and it's affecting the relationship. Okay. It doesn't mean that it's bad, or it doesn't make or break the relationship, like I said, but I feel like this is a really good person. They're very sensitive, very emotionally, I want to say, like, emotionally, they're very in tune, and they are also old and wise. Like, they've been through a lot in life, they understand human nature, and they're just overall, this is somebody with a lot of battle scars, so they've had a rough life, okay? They might have, I'm seeing like emotional up and down. Emotionally, they're kind of up and down. And you're starting to see this affecting the relationship, okay? And you're trying to find ways around it. And for those of you who are dealing with this, there's this mother hen tendency. You really care about this person. You really love the person. And honestly, I think that Aries, a lot of you have a really big heart. And when somebody comes to you, even if it's a stranger, a stray dog, stray cat, whatever it is, you do, like, you would give the shirt off your back. You do what is necessary to make things right. And when somebody's broken, you really take it upon yourself to help them. And I feel that, in relationships, both people need to come together as whole people. Otherwise, the relationship will not work. Otherwise, one person is just going to expend their energy to fulfill the other person, and then the relationship is going to be very unbalanced, and it's going to breed resentment. It's going to breed a lot of problems. So you want to make sure that your relationship partner is somebody that's whole and somebody that can give back as well. Otherwise, you're going to feel very emotionally depleted. Okay. So I feel like you're dealing with someone who's really good, and you're also dealing with somebody that has a good heart, and you feel like, oh, it's okay, that person is a really good person, and I want to do this. But the thing is, they need to be whole, otherwise the relationship will not work further down the line. So be very careful. I'm also sensing, this is crowning this reading, it's something that you're thinking about. A lot of you have stayed in a relationship where you put so much of yourself, your soul, your energy in order to nurture and care for and love the other person. And the situation did not get better. It didn't get better. There was a long period of, is it going to work or is it not? There was a long period of stagnation. There was a long period of discomfort where taking care of the other person because, energetically, you're not supposed to, for your relationship partner, you're not supposed to take care of them. And it happened that way, and you were hoping things are going to get better, things are going to be different. And you waited, and this might have been the month, or you might have walked away very recently. Okay, you might have had no other option but to walk away from it because it wasn't yielding the results you were looking for. Okay, and so I feel like some of you are still dealing with this and thinking about walking away. Others of you are have walked away from this, and you're trying to move on. You've gained a lot of self-awareness. You've gained a lot of important life lessons from that relationship. Let me look at the past. The past, I feel like, doesn't really matter much, but let me talk about the past. I feel like some of you were involved here with an earth sign. So this is the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is an earth sign, sun, moon, or rising. This is a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. And it's linked up with the Five of Swords. This is somebody, they're saying like, I feel that, once again, not a bad person, but there's zero compatibility between you and the person, okay? It's like you both are like different species. You can't really agree on things. You don't have the same interests. You might not see eye to eye. And there was a lot of strife, a lot of accusations, a lot of harsh words thrown about in that relationship. And I also feel like the person that you were involved with, they might not even be an earth sign, but the qualities that they exhibit is that they have a problem pursuing things. They have problems taking initiative. They have a problem about figuring out their sense of direction. They have a lot of ideas how to make money, and they might have like a grandiose sense of self. They might have a lot of ideas, but they start projects, they burn out, or they get bored. They never finish projects. So their life is kind of like just incomplete chapters. And so I feel like they're not whole in themselves. And because of that, it created a lot of tension and problems in the relationship because they can't meet you halfway, because they're not the right person, and energetically they're not the right one for you. And so problems always creep up. You've moved away from this. You're at a space now where you're making more demands on your relationship partner, which I feel is good. But they're also saying as well that don't take care of the relationship partner in that way. Okay, it's not appropriate for us to do that if we want a balance and a healthy relationship. So moving forward into the future, we have here the card about the Temperance. And Temperance is a card about being patient. It's a card about, really thinking long and hard. If you're dealing with somebody who has that very strong emotional ups and downs, they might not be healthy enough for a relationship, or they might not be healthy enough as a relationship partner. And so I feel like somebody's really testing your patience, and you're still trying to figure out whether or not to move away or to leave the relation, like to stay in the relationship or to leave. So I feel like some of you are thinking about cutting your losses, moving on. The person's a good person, but I feel there's a very strong emotional fluctuation here. And you're not really sure if you should stay. You're not really sure if things are going to get better. Are you repeating something from the last relationship? But you feel like, no, the last relationship, that person was very argumentative. This one is a really good person. So I don't feel like you're looking at this objectively. And what they're saying is, look at this situation in a more broader context. We're dealing with two people here. That last relationship, it had issues based on incompatibility. This current relationship is a little bit problematic because the person is not whole. They need they have this emotional swing that I'm feeling here. And so you can't compare apples and oranges, right? And so whatever lesson or whatever you vow you were going to do differently in that past relationship, it's not appropriate in this context. Does that make sense? Because we're dealing with two different scenarios. We're dealing with two different people. We're dealing with two different relationship partners. And so looking at this situation through the lens of the past is not going to be helpful for you. And I feel a lot of you just like, I've been through so much. Now I want somebody who's a lot more decisive, who's a lot more type A, who takes initiative. And some people, they can't take initiative. If they've been bullied their whole lives, they can't take initiatives. If they're very insecure about making wrong decisions, okay? So I do feel there is heavy emotional health that needs to either be leveled out, needs to be addressed, needs to be dealt with in your relationship. Honestly, I feel like it's coming from your partner more, but for some of you, I feel that it's coming from you too. And I feel like the emotional health aspect of it has to do with the fact that emotions are not something that we can touch, we can use a screwdriver and tweak. It requires inner work, it requires a lot of introspection, and it requires, therapy, treatment, or something like that, okay? So it requires, it's not something that can be fixed overnight. It's extensive and it's heavy and it's very in depth. And so I feel that taking a lot more time for introspection is going to be important. And I feel for those of you trying to make this decision, do not use the lens from the past to guide you in this present situation because you're dealing with two other people. So I'm going to pull out one last card for you. We have here the Ten of Coins. You're working together with somebody to build something of value, right? You're working together to build that family, that stable home, that financial base. And I feel like it might be a really good financial basis. It might be stable further down the line. But either way, I feel like the person is starting over. They're catching up to where you are. They're not where you are right now. They're going to get there. So give it a little bit more time. So they're saying here not to make a decision, like leave or stay. They're not saying that, but I feel like it has a lot of potential for stability. So give it a little bit more time. Be more patient, okay? I hope the reading has been helpful for you, and I hope the messages were not confusing, okay? I tried my best. So Aries, best of luck with everything for this month. Please slow down. And if you like to book a private reading as well, so I will find out by hopefully Thursday or Friday, this upcoming Thursday or Friday in a few days. And then I'll have more openings available online, okay? It's just things are up in the air right now. So best of luck with everything, okay? I'll be back for the mid-month reading. Take care of yourself and slow down a little bit. Get enough rest. Eat healthy, okay? Take care. Bye-bye.